Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
Good morning, and it is time to look at what's going to be worth checking out on your shopping list with Dan Koh. Good morning, Dan.
Hi, Ryan. Good morning. Good Monday morning. How was your weekend?
Yeah, pretty good. A nice, quiet one for me. How was it for you?
A little bit packed on Saturday, but I took quite a bit of a break on Sunday just to prepare myself for the week. That's pretty much how my weekend went. And welcome to Companies to Watch. That's a segment where we spotlight and stock you up with ideas of listed companies that will call for your attention. So we're looking at market trends to risks, as well as hidden gems or warning signs to steer clear of. 8855-0893. Tell us whether you think it's going to be a hot or not. Okay, you ready?
Let's go.
All right. Now, today we're turning to one of the biggest world-leading internet and technology companies that develops innovative products and services to improve the quality of life of people around the world. This company was founded back in 1998 with its headquarters in Shenzhen, China. And I'm talking about none other than Tencent, which has been, using its technology for good. So through the communication and social services to connect more than 1 billion people around the world, Tencent seek to help every individual to keep in touch with friends and family, access transportation, pay for daily necessities, and even be entertained. Have you used Tencent or WeChat before, right?
Yeah. Every time I'm in China, actually in Singapore as well, WeChat, Weixin, you use it to pay for stuff, book your car rides. They've also got a gaming division, so it's quite a big business.
Yeah, certainly. They've got a huge ecosystem around them. So let's talk a little bit more about the company, because just recently they've grown their revenue at its fastest pace in more than 3 years, bolstering investors' expectations that China's gaming and social media leader will likely weather a potential global downturn in 2025. So the WeChat operator reported a faster than anticipated 13% rise in sales to about 180.02 billion yuan. That represents about 25 billion US dollars in the March quarter. Revenue from domestic games increased by 24% year on year, while international games saw a 23% rise. I know you're a huge gamer yourself, Ryan. Do you play any of China's Tencent's games?
No, I haven't tried it out yet. So something for me to take a look. It does look quite popular.
Yeah. Net income rose by 14% to more than 47 billion yuan. That still missed estimates in part because of rising spending on AI research and initiatives. But the numbers still lend some confidence to investors who regard China's most valuable company as resistant to much of the economic turmoil that's surrounding the Trump administration's tariffs campaign. And if you look at how its shares has performed so far, closed last week at about $8.47. That's up 16% year to date. So according to analysts, Tencent's first quarter beat, while it still models, it still provides reassurance that its business is on track to deliver a solid year of growth despite the backdrop of tariff uncertainty. And like what we've mentioned just now, domestic video game strength was the standout division this quarter. That's helping drive a further sequential improvement in adjusted operating margin to 38.5%. And guess what, Ryan? Second half looks good as well in terms of AI targeting ad growth. That remains, a positive sign for Tencent. And this could be one of the best beneficiaries for Tencent, who has been benefiting from the likes of DeepSeek and the release of their R1 model, which upended the idea of US AI dominance. And that's also rekindling interest in homegrown technology. And just like many of its rivals, Tencent executives had to feel a barrage of questions of how it intends to make money off AI, and they reaffirmed a commitment to spending on developing AI, an outlay that may crimp profit growth, but then again, in the long term, it should help to reap some rewards. So that being said, I think a lot of the concerns about how NVIDIA chips and, the sanctions around the chips might, while in some ways disrupt its AI efforts, Tencent did say that it's got enough semiconductors and software capabilities for now. So I suppose in the near term, doesn't seem like they would be profitable, but at least it seems like they're looking into the 5 to 10 year horizon, don't you think?
Yeah, it does look quite promising. They did talk about a stockpile of chips they have. Of course, China itself might come up with its own chips, and DeepSeek really changing the tone of the conversation, where there's now more optimism about AI in China, and now some of these big tech players there are capitalizing on that momentum. So not a big surprise that Tencent is doing well in the advertising space, and all in does look like good prospects for Tencent on the front.
Yeah, certainly. In fact, we can't deny the fact that Tencent's most reliable asset remains as WeChat, as it takes on bigger monetization roles in areas from advertising to mini-games and TikTok-style shopping. So if you've used, WeChat before, it's literally like an entire ecosystem of live?
Like a super app.
Yeah, essentially. So, in fact, Tencent has sought to introduce more features to its all-in-one platform, including a gifting function that's received a mixed reception from both merchants and buyers. So we'll see whether that takes off for them. But that being said, I guess a classic Tencent move to think long-term, go global, and let the compounding do the work. With that, I'm going to go with a hard. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I join you there. It does look like Tencent has got a lot going for it, especially with that huge dominance with WeChat.
All right, and that pretty much wraps it for our stock in focus for today, Tencent. And based on consensus rating, Tip Ranks, Yahoo, and Barron's, they've all given it a buy rating as of the 19th of May.
There is another point I want to bring up is how it is getting more support from policymakers, right? With China going through so many tough times.
Yeah.
I think it will favor growing its big technology companies more now than before because they create jobs, they create innovation. So they are more likely to support them in this sense. So I would believe they would have more tailwinds on the front.
Oh, for sure. And also a deal that, recently was announced back in March to invest about $1 billion to acquire 25% stake in new entity holding Ubisoft Entertainments. That gives it more control over franchises like Assassin's Creed. Okay, Ryan, now here's a fun fact about Tencent. Do you know what the company logo is for Tencent?
I'm thinking it's got a letter T and a 10.
No, it's a famous penguin, Ryan.
Oh, I was thinking actually now a pony would have worked because Pony Ma was the founder.
Yeah. Oh, that would be
Why
nice,
a penguin though?
So it was reported that, the logo was sketched by a programmer at the start since the company did not have a graphic designer back in early stages. So as the company expanded, so did the size of the penguin logo and the number of its in-house graphic designers. So that's why he still settled for the penguin at the end of the day.
Ah, okay, the nice romantic story.
So how much do you need to pay to play a game developed by Riot Games?
How much do I need to pay? How much?
Tencent.
Right.
Come on, Ryan. Okay. And that's all we have for Tencent.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.